Welcome back, friends, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers. Before we begin, hit that thumbs up button if you love Pokemon, and let us know down in the comments what you thought about our latest video on Pikachu Creepypastas. With that, let's get to today's video, the scariest Eevee Creepypastas. First up is Project Evolution. This creepypasta's author is unknown, but was found on the Creepypasta Wiki fandom page. It follows the day-by-day diary of an Eevee. They begin the story by saying that their family of Pokemon discovered evolutionary stones that held a virtually limitless power. The Eevee goes on to tell the story of its father describing the different evolutions that exist, and the Eevee is then experimented on by Professor Fur, which meant having the different evolutionary stones implanted into its spine. It was told that they were testing a theory of de-evolution. The idea was to evolve Eevee into a Vaporeon, for example, and then devolve it back into its Eevee form so it could retain the skills that it had learned from the evolution. However, it takes a dark turn when the Eevee begins hearing the inner voices of every possible evolution. The poor Eevee then began rapidly evolving throughout the different evolutions until the professor gave it a serum to put it into an unconscious state. Now, with the dilemma of having an Eevee with multiple personality disorder, their only option was to wipe its memory clean. Phoebes Grave. This creepypasta is based on a story by Flaky Porcupine and Tyron7. It's about a gamer who comes across a very sad looking Eevee. The Pokemon was sobbing while staring at its reflection in the water and looked noticeably thin. When approaching the Pokemon, a text box appeared coming from it that just kept saying loneliness. The Eevee was left by a trainer, had no family, and was left to rot in the woods. It explains that its trainer left it because during a battle all of its Pokemon were defeated and it believed that it was cursed. The trainer, trying to assist the Pokemon, walked to a nearby pond and started to fish, hoping to feed the poor Eevee. That's when the gamer begins to hear the Lavender Town tone begin to play in the background, striking fear to the gamer that something was wrong. When he rushed back to where the Eevee was, he only caught a glimpse of the buried alive character dragging Eevee to the ground. A text box then appeared that says, "Never abandon your friends," followed by "Here lies Eevee's grave." Next up is called Let Me Evolve. This Eevee creepypasta is based on a story written by a user named Reaper the Bear on Wattpad. It's about a trainer who should have just let the Eevee evolve. He managed to find a code that placed an Eevee into his party, and through cloning he was able to create many of them and evolve them into each of the different evolutions. However, one Eevee was more stubborn than the rest. It kept trying to evolve into an evolution that he already had. He wanted it to evolve into a Flareon, but it kept trying to become an Espeon. After continuously stopping its evolution process, a text box appeared saying, "Eevee wants to evolve, let him or else." The gamer was then taken into a battle with his own Eevee, and after it defeated his Pokemon, the battle was still on with the trainer now in place. The attack text box appeared saying, "Eevee used kill." A loud screech blared from his speakers, and then his DSi just shut off. It never would turn on again after that. I guess he should have just let it evolve. Next up is Fire and Ice. This creepypasta is based on a story written by Arceus-sama found on DeviantArt.com. It's about a gamer who learns the hard way that fire and ice just don't mix. Eevee was his favorite Pokemon, and with the hopes of evolving it into a Flareon, he named it Flame. He trained and trained the Eevee until it was one of his strongest assets. While they were in the midst of the cold north, he gave the Eevee a Firestone, not realizing that the icy rock would have an effect on it. The Eevee then began to glow with a warm light of evolution, and after a happy cry, it ran into the icy rock, causing it to let out a terrible cry of pain. What happened next terrified the trainer. The Pokemon now had half of its body in flames and the other half was covered by ice. Soon the flames began to slowly melt the icy half of its body, and as it fell to the ground, the trainer had tears in his eyes. He should have known that fire and ice just don't go together. Next up is Dark Eevee. This creepypasta is based on a story written by a user named Shadow Aquino found on DeviantArt.com as well. It's about a trainer who came across a strange looking Eevee. It appeared to have dark gray fur and its chest looked like a shiny Eevee. There was something super dark about this Eevee though. It had slash marks across its tail and there was bones scattered nearby. Hoping to catch the Pokemon, he used a Master Ball, except to his surprise, the Eevee turned and caught the ball with its razor sharp teeth. It completely destroyed it in one bite, and with its glowing red eyes, it began lunging at the trainer. He tried to run, but as the Eevee caught up, it slashed his neck, causing his character to fall over and begin to bleed out. He began feeling a pain in his own neck, and that's most of what he remembers. Suddenly he was in a hospital bed, and as the doctor approached, he asked what happened. The boy recounted the story of the game, and as the doctor laughed, he oddly felt better. perhaps it was all just a dream while he was blacked out from whatever happened. He noticed his mom had brought his DSi in for him to play while he was recovering, so he decided to play it. And when it loaded up, he was face to face with the Dark Eevee. A text box appeared saying, "Stay away, next time you won't be so lucky." Now let's entertain your brain with some featured comments, shall we? The Shadow Game says, "Scary." That's it. I'm glad that we achieved the ability to scare a shadow. It's a plus for us. Daniel Furman says, "Great, now I can't play any kid-friendly games anymore due to creepypastas. Just use your noggin and unplug the game if you get any weird hack copy, but you should be fine." Mary Carmen Saldana says, "I've never seen this guy before, but he's doing great." Why, thank you, Mary, I appreciate it. Sonic Stalker 123 says, "What? Something that isn't Fortnite?" You got that right, we're trying to mix it up every now and again. Jacob Armitage says, "Johnny, you are the king of Pokemon creepypastas." I try. Thank you, Jacob, appreciate it. And that has been the Scariest Eevee Creepypastas. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and let us know down in the comments which one scared you the most. Plus, if you want more videos like this one, all you have to do is click the playlist on the screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers, and until next time, take care.